nightmare in football. Drop out of the Premier League is their any way back. Well, this weekend, Oldham became the first team in history to play in the Premier League to drop out of the Football League altogether, having been relegated from all 4 divisions of English football, as Joe Linsky reports.
This was the Premier League in 1994.
It's in, sharp.
And Oldham Athletic beat Chelsea for the second time that season. But 28 years later, one club are champions of Europe, and now the others in non-league. On Saturday, Oldham were relegated from League Two, with the fans on the pitch, angry at how the club's run, but it wasn't always like this.
Yes!
Oldham spent 3 years in the top flight and were Premier League founder members. The Lancashire town prepared to take on the neighbours.
That's awkward. It's in!
Back in the early 90s, Oldham had that great team, but it also kind of coincided with the whole Manchester scene. You had the Spiral Carpets from Oldham. So anyone of that era will remember Oldham as being part of that great time for the area, you know, football-wise, music-wise, culturally.
That's fallen nicely for Richie, just on the edge of the area.
I think at that time we were probably everybody's second favourite football club. The manager, Joe, then said it was the, you know, pinch me season, and it was. You know, you couldn't believe that you were there, but you were there, and you had to deal with it.
We really held our own, and you know, we played some fantastic football.
It was just magical. We were beating teams, battering teams every week.
I mean, nobody expected it, and I don't think the club were ready for it, and I think that's why we ended up only staying up there for a short while and then tumbling down.
When Oldham dropped out the top flight, they kept sinking. 3 more relegations have followed. Now they're the first team to go from Premier League to non-league, and football is full of what-ifs. Since 1994, this club have fallen down the leagues, but that year, one moment could have changed things. Oldham was still in the Premier League and reached the FA Cup semi-finals. They faced Manchester United and led 1-0. But then, in the last minute...
It's hooked back in for Hughes. It's there!
United went on to win the tie and then the cup. Oldham were deflated. They went back to the league and had 7 games left. They didn't win 1 and were relegated from the top flight by 3 points.
Obviously, United went their way, Oldham went their way, and it's been quite sad because Oldham's demise was probably sparked by Man United as well. But for that, Oldham would have got to the cup final, maybe stayed up, who knows? But you speak to anyone around here, and that is the goal that killed the club in many people's eyes.
The disappointment did really affect us looking back on it. It was a big blow for everybody, the team, the supporters and the management as well.
So if Mark Hughes' volley hits the post and goes wide, Oldham get to the final, could things be different?
I really do feel that we might have won it.
What ifs is what makes football great, and you just want one of those what ifs to go your way every now and again.
Never been that close since, and probably, in all probability, won't be again.
It has been 30 years of nothing, pretty much. A very slow and a very painful decline to where they are now.
When you go down into the conference, it's not an easy place to get out of, and it would be a massive, I think, blow for the community.
You just feel physically sick thinking about it. It's just heartbreaking.
Oldham's fans want their owner to sell up and for a fresh start in the 5th tier. Now for the team who've played at the top, it's a long way back.
Richie!
Joe Linsky, BBC News, Oldham.
Yeah, some great pictures there of the slightly better days.